This is the Shotgun City Sheriff, the law himself, Clayton Clark.
This is the young Titan, Aaron Atlas.
This is your favorite drunken pro wrestler, a.k.a. the Bud Light Brawler, Dalton Davis.
This is Danger Josh Crane.
Hey, this is Matt Brannigan.
This is Sage Phillips, the Catch Wrestling Casanova.
This is Steve Wilson, the man behind former Impact Wrestling and current independent wrestling star, The Monster, Congo Kong.
This is Jake Something. And this is the jaw-jacking, back-cracking, God created all men equal, and then he made me the sequel, Rohit Raju, and you are listening to the Spot Show Podcast.
Spot Show Podcast.
Spot Show Podcast.
The Spot Show Podcast.
Spot Show Podcast, hell yeah.
The Spot Show Podcast.
The Spot Show Podcast? Yeah, that's right, I stuttered. Shut up.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the Spot Show Podcast, a professional wrestling podcast, not about professional wrestling, and it is spooky season.
I'll pay you never to do that again.
Please do. Please do. So, do we want to talk about how we literally came back from a show the other night just listening to Halloween sound effects?
That was amazing, though.
So, we're driving. We went over to Noble to see the MadBash brother, Clayton Clark, in the bull rope match with Logan Ridge. Shout out to Clayton for winning the...
Congratulations, buddy.
For
well
winning
earned.
the title. Very well earned. But anyway, we're driving back and we're trying to just find a Halloween playlist just to kind of set the mood or whatever. And boy, are we finding nothing. So then I'm just like, fuck it. So I just find a playlist on Spotify that is just Halloween sound effects. So there's just like the random moaning, the witch laughing, the
Brushing of the bushes.
the rustling, the dreary rains and all of that.
It fit the mood, though. Coming down those country roads in the pitch black with giant deer antlers staring us in the face.
So fun fact, we talked about it last time. We were pretty close to Hatchet Man Cemetery on the way back, and we almost went.
Yes, but we were both tired at this point.
We were both very tired. We had a long night of, we were filming some stuff with Clayton Clark at the show. You'll see that in the near future. Just hanging out with the brothers, having a good time, and I was like, man, I would love to go to Hatchet Man. It would be so cool, but brother, I'm tired. I want to get home. Because it was a rare Friday show for us. We're usually not going. And then here's the thing, too. I'm mad at Clayton Clark. This was supposed to be my first wrestling-free weekend in a month and a half, roughly.
Yes.
And he invites us to come watch the show. So, we wanted to go there to support the brothers.
I had a good time, though.
Had a very good time. Shout out to iWow for having us. That was really cool.
Josh is the man.
Yeah, Josh Totten's really, really good dude. We told him, I said, thanks for having us. And then he goes, well, I don't have any stretch marks or nothing. So
That dude is a walking dad joke.
I was just getting ready to make that comment. Yeah, I was getting ready to make that comment. But hey, you know what? We're just kind of digressing here a little bit. Before we get too far into this, we just want to let everybody know that this podcast is brought to you by Sewer Layer Toys, Elite Pro Wrestling, and Yoo-Hoo. But you're going to hear a little bit more about them later. That's right, I said Yoo-Hoo.
Brother, the 8-year-old kid in me is so happy for this sponsorship.
Dude, here's the thing. This is the first time that we've publicly had it on the podcast. By now, obviously, the announcement has been made. Whenever we recorded the last podcast, we didn't have full confirmation yet, so we didn't throw them on yet.
Yes.
But now this podcast, we officially have the confirmation that we are sponsored by Yoo-Hoo. And I'm telling you, Dickie Wabash from about 3 years ago is so vindicated because Yoo-Hoo was like my unofficial drink whenever I was a Twitch streamer. And I always said, I want to get a Yoo-Hoo sponsorship, And now we have a Yoo-Hoo sponsorship.
Dude, it's so crazy. The pink and blue mixed with the yellow and blue. We're unstoppable. It's a new world order.
So since we've officially had the sponsorship, how many have you been drinking?
At least 2 a day.
Me too.
At least 2 a day.
Me too. You know what, though? If you're a listener of the podcast, you're going to be able to get in on some of this Yoo-hoo goodness, but you're going to hear a little bit about that later when we do the ad read. That is, of course, unless you head on over to patreon.com/MadBash Studios, where if you back us at the $5 and above tier, you're going to get this episode absolutely ad-free. But that's not what all we have going on over on the Patreon. We are in pilot season. Tales from the Backyard has been posted. The Hindsight Report has been posted. I don't know if it's been posted by the time this goes live, but Dickie's Video Game Junction has been recorded. It just needs to go live over on the Patreon. You're also going to find awesome, starting at $2, you're going to find some awesome behind-the-scenes photos, videos, all of that nonsense. If you head on over to patreon.com/MadBash Studios, we would appreciate any kind of support over there that we can get. But listen, I understand how it is, guys. It's hard times. Hard times is when you work for 20 years at a job and they give you a watch and say a computer stole your job. That's hard times.
You need a new stick.
Say that it's shtick. Say that you are facing those hard times and you don't necessarily have the money to toss our way. We understand that completely. You can support us absolutely ad-free.
Free?
If you go to your favorite podcasting platform, hit us with a 5-star review and hit us with a share to someone that you think would enjoy us. We would very much appreciate that. Head over to the YouTube channel, the Facebook page, where you can find various ways to support us. But again, if you got the extra money, head on over to patreon.com/MadBash Studios. We would appreciate that. We appreciate any support that we can get, really. We really do. By the way, I want to give a very quick shout out here because I told him that I would. I got to give a shout out to Jay Silva and his new podcast, Retro Zone. He is live with that right now. You can find more information on that by just looking up Retro Zone. So far, he's talked about some Sonic the Hedgehog games, and he talked about Halloween. Maybe by the time this goes live, he'll have like 1 or 2 more up. It just depends. I don't know. But shout out to one of the MadBash brothers, Jay Silva. He's been a supporter for quite a while. It's awesome to see him branching out there because I will say this about Jalen. He is one of the most effortlessly entertaining human beings I've ever met in my entire life.
Oh, yes.
We'll probably get into some me and Jay Silva stories on Paid Show because there's a couple that we just kind of want to, keep behind the curtain a little bit. But goddamn, pal, I'm going to tell you. But anyway, shout out to Jay. Shout out to his podcast. We'll leave a link ski to his podcast in the description of this episode. But anyway, yeah. So there's that. You got your shout out, Jay. I promised you I would do it. I'm a man of my word. So anyways, let's get to the order of business that we have lined up for you fine people here today during spooky season.
This was spooky.
Very spooky. And I did this as a bit because I sprung it on you last minute because I wanted to do the whole thing of, oh, this is spooky season, but, there's nothing scarier than saying this. Halloween Havoc 2000.
This was the most unrelated Halloween Havoc in the history of Halloween Havocs.
There was nothing.
Tori Wilson. That was the only thing.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh.
I'm saying there was nothing that would have made you think this was a Halloween Havoc show.
No.
It's just not the same without the Slim Jims. Not my Halloween Havoc. That's what I say.
How are you going to have a Halloween Havoc not sponsored by Slim Jim?
You have to. Where was Randy Savage at this point? Was he out?
I don't know.
That's a good question because I think that mostly the Slim Jim sponsorship just kind of came whenever Randy Savage was there. Like, because Randy was obviously sponsored by Slim Jim, so he brought that to the table with him. Just like how we bring Yoo-Hoo to the table now, because we are sponsored by Yoo-Hoo. I am not going to shut up about that. It is so cool that we are sponsored by Yoo-Hoo. So, let's get into it, man. I'm just going to say this right now before we even get started. I really should be fired as creative director
Yes, you should.
of this company.
Yes, you should.
Because this was my idea to do this. And
you regretted every second of it.
this
didn't you?
shows that I have terrible judgment.
Dude, they didn't even start the pay-per-view with a normal intro package. It was some blonde that we never knew her name going around interviewing fans.
Yeah, they never really said who it was, and it was like, so do you think Goldberg or Chronic's going to win tonight? Goldberg.
I marked out there was actually one Chronic fan.
Yes, that was, you could tell that they definitely were not expecting that to happen. I believe they said who she was, but I don't remember what they said her name was. But, you know, I will say this. The opening video package was corny as fuck, but I actually really liked it. Because it kind of fit the gimmick of like, you know, this is horror and this is Halloween. And
that's all they had going for the whole show about horror and Halloween, though.
Exactly. Because then you cut to the arena and it's this generic stage that they were using during this time. And I hate that stage. That stage is terrible.
That stage is like they looked at the Monday Night Raw and were like, oh, the Titantron's over. Let's copy it, but switch our homework up a little bit. Instead of a flat screen with one trestle, let's put 4 trestles back and make our stage 4D.
I think it's better than the bird shit stage, though.
That is true.
I did like the bird shit stage, though, because they slid open and they could walk through it.
That was my favorite part of it. That, and it always made me think of Ready to Rumble when I watched it.
And that's fair, because they did use the bird shit stage in Ready to Rumble.
So no matter how bad it was watching, I'd still get to see that stage and be like, David Arquette walked through that boy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That original Nitro stage, though, was always going to be my favorite.
Yes.
That original. And then do you remember for a little bit whenever, like, Thunder... Do you remember Thunder's original stage?
The green and black one with the sliding wall?
It was the rock.
Yeah.
It was like a rock wall.
Yep.
And they would walk through. And then they changed it to look industrial, which was still cool.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, there was something about that original Thunder stage that I thought was really cool. But I could spend an entire podcast talking about wrestling stages.
We should do that.
That would be a fun one. So, anyways... We now go on to our opening matchup.
Brought to you by WCW Backstage Assault. That's an instant giveaway. This show is going downhill quick.
You know, I've never played Backstage Assault.
You're lucky.
Never played it. I know it's bad. I understand that it's bad. I very much am aware of the mythos of this game and how terrible it is. But I've never played it. I might. I don't own it. Ignore me. I thought I did own it, but I do not. So at first I thought this was just a normal tag team match, but then come to find out it's a 3-way tag match. It is Boogie Nights, which is Disco and Alex Wright.
Hey, did you notice that Alex Wright was cosplaying as Berlin for this match?
What? I noticed that because this is after he was doing the Berlin gimmick, but he just must have abandoned it and then just gone back to Alex Wright.
Yes.
For what reason?
I don't know.
That's not Alex Wright.
I was
brother.
like, at least it's Halloween. He's in costume.
That's a good way to say that he was just dressed up as he was Berlin. He was Alex Wright dressed up as Berlin because that's what you should do during a Halloween show. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Anyway, it's Boogie Nights, which is Disco and Alex Wright, versus Sean O'Hare and future member of Evolution, Mark Jindrak. Going out against the Filthy Animals.
The good Filthy Animals.
The good version of the Filthy Animals. They have since ditched Disco Inferno, and they have replaced him with Kidman. So that makes me really happy.
You mean Juventud.
What?
They replaced Hoovy.
Did they replace Hoovy?
Yeah.
But Disco was also out of the Filthy Animals
Disco,
at this point.
I never count as a Filthy Animal.
Okay, but they had also replaced Hoovy because Hoovy got fired by this point, right?
Yes, for the naked hotel room. And
yes, so Hoovy was out of there. And they also replaced Conan, or no, sorry, not Conan. They replaced Disco with Kidman, which, huge upgrade.
Can we just say that Mark Madden, before the bell even rings to start the match, has WCW's first racist comments of the evening?
Mark Jindrak and Sean O'Hare are a white Harlem Heat.
You got the same thing I do, bro.
Oh, my God. Speaking of Mark Madden, Conan is on commentary again because I'm assuming that he has a clause in his contract that he has to be on commentary during Filthy Animals matches. Good for Mark Madden, though, because he no longer calls him Carlos. He's calling him Conan now.
Yes.
So that made me very happy to see. I mean, so the joke that's going on throughout this entire match is that Mark Madden keeps referring to Jindrak and O'Hare as different. Like, he's like, that's like Arn and Tully, and it's this, blah, blah, blah. And, oh, speaking of which, the Harlem Heat line is funny because Stevie Ray is on commentary.
Yes.
And I don't think I realized that Stevie Ray was even on commentary.
Until like match 4.
Until like, it was like match 2 or 3 for me. But, I just want to say with this match, it's really not a bad opener.
Dude, that springboard to the sidewalk slam by Mark Jindrak popped me.
Yes. So, but I will say this too. I feel, and this is no discredit to Kidman or Ray or anybody else in this match for that matter, but brother, Alex Wright was the best one in this match.
Yes.
I really felt that.
Like, there's so many like underrated, talented guys at this time in WCW, all in this one match, and then you got Disco Inferno.
Yeah, and I will give it this. I mean, there's actually good psychology in this match.
Oh yeah,
like it makes sense. Like they're tagging out when they're supposed to, and
cutting the rings off, attacking each other at the right time.
Yes, like this is legitimately a really, really good match, and. It like early in this match, I noticed that Frau Farbissina from Austin Powers is in the crowd. There's a woman that looks just like Frau Farbissina from Austin Powers. Open the globe. Where fire the laser. And what is funny about this woman is that you can tell that she is clearly there just to watch wrestling with her son, because throughout the show, like her son is leaning over to her and like
trying to explain everything,
trying to explain to her what's going on. Mark Madden actually calls Alex Wright the MVP of this match, and
which is fitting.
100% right.
He was the ring journal of that whole match.
He really was. That's really the only smart thing Mark Madden.
You were talking about Conan on commentary.
Yes.
Did you hear the hair gel line from Conan?
He made a something about Mary joke.
Butchered a something about Mary joke.
Yes.
I quoted it here. Conan comes out and says, they got some stuff in their hair like about Mary the movie. Mark Madden looks at him and goes, we're really going that low with something about Mary?
Meanwhile, later on in the DNA match, Mark Madden is like blatantly talking about jerking off jokes. So
yes.
Just to say that we're going that low, come on, Mark Madden.
Dude, the electric chair tower spot, that's something you don't see anymore.
Yes, that was another really good one. I don't remember if it was after or before that Tower of Doom electric chair spot, but there's a triple hot tag at one point. There's a triple down, and all 3 men are crawling to their corner, and then the triple tag happens, and then it fell apart. And from that point on, I feel like the match just wasn't as good as, like, it started off hot.
They let Disco in the ring, that's why.
And then, like, the back, like, quarter of the match was just...
They saved it, though. Jindrak and O'Hare grabbing Billy Kidman and throwing him from the floor to inside the ring, like, that was phenomenal.
Yeah. Then at another point, Disco hits a stunner, and everybody on commentary is just racing to make a JR quote. Like, every single one of them, they're like, he stunned him, hey, like they're talking over each other to see who can be the first one to get like a by God out. And it just is great. The waterfall spot in this match was great too, because it's just like everyone goes down, and it was just really good usage of this. Who went over? I forgot. I didn't write
O'Hare
down.
and Jindrak.
O'Hare and Jindrak go over.
It was after Ray broke up the pin with the leg drop to the back of the head.
Yep.
Ray got shit canned the hard way too.
Yeah.
And then O'Hare out of nowhere with the Shanton.
Yes. Yeah. So after the match, there's a little bit of a beatdown. Conan gets in the ring, and they start beating him down. Am I remembering that correct?
Conan is hurt so bad from one chair shot.
Yeah.
The commentary is losing their mind. Oh my God, Conan's seriously hurt. Camera cuts to Conan getting up in the ring like nothing happened. He notices the camera's on him and falls to the ground again. Popped me.
So that's the wall, brother. Sergeant AWOL comes out to make the save. And then he just stays in the ring and starts setting up for a hardcore match.
Which pissed me off because WCW's rules are where the hardcore matches start.
You start in the back, which if there was ever a time to have the match start in the back, it would be on a show that is sponsored by Backstage Assault.
Yes.
Like, what? I just leave it to WCW to fuck up WCW. Like, it's so simple.
There goes that sponsorship package. For
Oh my
our own
God.
selves.
So Reno comes to the ring, and this motherfucker looks like you hit randomize on a CAW. Like, he's
Wearing
got
the Yokozuna design tight.
Yeah,
baggy
he's got, like,
slappies.
baggy Yokozuna style slappy pants. He's like bald on top with a really long ponytail in the back. And then he's got like the wrist tape and the boots and everything.
Hey,
And
brother, but we learned that's what happens in the Reno, Nevada fight clubs.
that is what, as we learned, it was, by the way, let me throw this in there real quick as a little aside. This match this show rather, is 2 months away from the last pay-per-view that we watched, New Blood Rising. This feels like a completely different
year.
company.
Yeah.
Or year, even.
How'd this match start off? Do you remember? The first move in the whole match.
No, remind me.
Table spot.
Oh yeah. They
For
they
no
do this,
reason.
Yeah.
This is when I noticed that Sergeant AWOL
Yes.
has the same back tattoo as Mr. Anderson, but his is black. So I legally discovered that they are in fact brothers.
I mean, let's make that canon, dude. Yeah, I don't know, man, but this is just your standard hardcore match, and
Standard. You call this hardcore match standard?
I
We
mean,
got the
it's-
Fred Flintstone water buffalo bowling technique to a trash can to the face from AWOL.
yeah, that's the wall, brother. That's the wall.
We got Reno out here. I never knew that Cecil Cerveza was a Reno mark.
Yeah.
Rolling the dice every
Doing the
fucking
roll of the
where.
dice, which I still stand by that. Actually have it in my notes. Cecil does a better roll of the dice than Reno.
Yes.
I actually believe that. So shout out to Cecil on that one.
Can I talk about my two favorite parts of this match real quick?
Yeah, please. But before you do, let me say this. Did you notice that Mark Madden continuously kept saying, this is old school hardcore rules?
Yes.
They were emphasizing that this was old school
because they
hardcore
fucked up by not
rules.
starting in the back.
Yes. So go on.
Okay. They get up on the stage, right?
Yep.
AWOL takes over Reno,
Are we talking about the double table spot?
puts him through the double tables.
Yes.
AWOL does a taunting pose and sells his own pose and gets dizzy from it and falls over.
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. Because it's old school hardcore, brother.
Completely-
That's the wall, brother.
Completely fucking fine. Slams the dude through two tables, looks around. Oh, I gotta kill time. Here, let me pose real quick. Oh, that made me dizzy. I'm gonna fall over.
By the way, you just did the Clayton Clark bang bang pose.
did.
As like
I-
your
that's the
default
pose he did.
I know.
That is the pose he did.
I know. So this entire time I'm thinking, why are they not just wrestling backstage? They are missing an opportunity. And then they powder to the back. So
And then greatness ensues.
here are my notes. I put, why are they not backstage the whole time? Ignore my previous note.
When they go backstage, though, they fight towards a table that's got a laptop computer.
Yes.
And a desktop computer on there.
Yes.
When in the year 2000 do they have wireless desktop computer monitors?
Did you also notice that the display of the monitor does not go away whenever
I know.
Reno picks it up?
After
Yep.
he hits him, and then 5 minutes later, it's still on.
Yes.
That's like magic right there.
Yeah. So let's we're gonna kind of take a little bit of a little shout out here. Shout out to MadBash stepbrother Jason V, who went completely above and beyond because, brother, he sent me notes.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to hear these.
He finished Halloween Havoc before we did because it took me like 4 sittings to finish this pay-per-view. So Jason V's note here, I mean, he's got notes, believe me. But there's a couple that actually stick out to me. And this one I just want to read because they just popped me. $10 says that computer he threw at him had one of those 100 free hours of America Online discs in it.
Guaranteed.
So they're in the back and they're just fighting. And this is the most video game ass match I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, it looks like that they're just hitting highlighted areas of the backstage to hit spots.
That's WCW Backstage Assault in a nutshell, brother.
That's what they were trying to do, was make it look like backstage assault.
And it worked.
It worked in a weird way. So at one point, this is back to Jason V notes. Mark Madden said, "I always knew the internet would destroy wrestling. And if only he knew how true that statement would become." So they're on their way back through Gorilla.
And we get a Finley promo.
For some reason, the Wall. That's the Wall, brother. You know who that is. That's the Wall. He just potatoes fit Finley.
For no reason.
None.
The babyface hits Finley.
No reason at all. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I was like, it's like this match just drug on. And it should not have been as long as it was.
Speaking of that very statement, my favorite part of this whole match, they're coming back through the curtain. They get halfway down the ramp and Stevie Rowe blatantly on commentary goes, "This match is going on way too long. Reno's already blown. He wasn't expecting it to last this long."
Stevie Ray on commentary is so great. At one point, I must have missed this, but in Jason V notes, Stevie Ray owns a car wash in Houston, because Stevie Ray must have announced that he owns a car wash in Houston at some point on commentary. So another thing about commentary, Mark Madden at one point says Dunsky, and that popped me bigger than shit. I mean, what do you say? Reno won the match.
With help from Palumbo and Stasiak.
Yeah, so Perfect Event do a run-in, and this Perfect Event run-in is important, and it's very important because of what we are about to see after this happens, because Conan, I believe, is back out there again to help AWOL, and then Jindrak and O'Hare beat up Conan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is, as we know later, Conan has a match against Shane Douglas. So Shane Douglas is trying to get rid of Conan so that when they go into this match, it is what it is. Conan's going to be hurt. So Perfect Event come out and they beat up Conan. They leave and they're all sweaty. They're all, whatever.
Geared up too.
And they're in their gear. We then magically cut to a backstage promo where Perfect Event is with Mike Sanders.
This is the Natural Born Thrillers.
The Natural Born Thrillers are together, basically. And there stands Jindrak and O'Hare. And they do not look like that they have once already wrestled a match tonight.
No.
Oh, by the way, I just got my notes mixed up. Jindrak and O'Hare are not Perfect Event. Perfect Event is Palumbo and Stasiak. Yeah. So it's Stasiak and Palumbo that look like they didn't even do a run-in, right?
Yeah, they're fully clothed now on t-shirts.
Okay, I sincerely apologize. My notes got mixed up. But anyway, yeah, Perfect Event is just standing there like nothing has happened.
While Shane Douglas thanks them for what just happened in the ring.
Yes.
But here's the kicker. About a minute and a half into this promo, finally in the bottom left-hand corner earlier tonight.
There clearly was a sequence break in this because they didn't think this through, because Perfect Event are dressed like they just got to the building, but they've already done a run-in and taken care of Conan. So if this is supposed to be earlier today, then why is franchise talking about thank you for beating up Conan? Because
WCW, brother.
It just doesn't make sense. And I could just hear Vince Russo backstage, put fucking earlier today on screen, bro. We're fucking up the continuity, bro. But I don't think that Russo was actually, he was gone at this point, right?
No.
He was still around.
He was still around.
Damn, I genuinely don't remember that, but I just find it funny that there's just like a sequence break of him like thanking them, but it's, oh my God, it was just so wonderful. Earlier today pops up on screen as if they didn't just have a match 15 minutes ago. You can hear, like I said, you can just hear Vince Russo, put it on the fucking screen, bro.
Goldberg's get shown arriving to the arena.
So apparently, I forgot about this. This is when they were doing the Goldberg has a second streak gimmick.
I got that in my notes too. I was like, I completely forgot about the second streak.
I vaguely remembered it, but I genuinely did not realize that this was actually happening, because last time we saw Goldberg, he was doing this like quasi heel run where
his shove it up your ass run.
His shove it up your ass and shit like that. But now he's got a streak again. And by the way, I also want to point out, I want to back up a little bit here. We are fucking idiots, because it absolutely was Jindrak and O'Hare, not Perfect Event.
It was all four of them, brother.
It was all four of them at one point, yes. But I just got confused in the notes. This is why when we do these reviews, we're going to have to do it like the next day, because I've slept since then, brother. I've played Lies of P a lot since then, which you can hear about Lies of P, patreon.com/MadBash Studios, Dickie's Video Game Junction. So anyways, Goldberg is hurt because he was beat up by Chronic.
No. Goldberg is hurt because he headbutted the ring post on a spear.
That's right. That's what it is.
He has brain
That's
damage.
what it is.
But Mark Madden let everyone there in attendance know that the ring post is in fact fine and they're doing its job tonight.
Mark Madden is such a piece of shit. I love him. Now we have an impromptu tag team match.
Before you get that, you notice the trend here. Every Nitro and every pay-per-view we watched and reviewed for WCW in this year, Goldberg is hurt and questionable if he's going to compete that night.
They got to make him look strong, brother. They got to make him look strong. You know what I mean? So now we have an impromptu tag team match because Perfect Event made the run-in.
Which they went backstage, got fully dressed, and then came back out 4 minutes later in their ring gear again.
Yes. So there was like 2 layers of continuity that were going on here that were kind of fucked up. Perfect Event versus MIA is now happening. We got Loco and Cajun representing MIA. I don't care. This match was not great. My one takeaway from this match is bottom left, top right tag corners. That's not how it's done.
Brother, this match was so bad, I only got a few bulletins I want to address.
You more than I got.
Sean Stasiak should in fact have been in Legacy over to Moo.
Yeah.
The fuck Chavo Guerrero dropped from inside the ring to the floor.
Yeah, that was good.
Palumbo tripping on a flapjack, which starts the commentator's inside joke of the night about him not having as much experience.
So, real quick about Palumbo, at one point he puts a sleeper hold on Cajun, and he just randomly goes, bullshit! It just yells bullshit, and you can see him clear as day say bullshit.
And my biggest takeaway, which Armstrong is this ref? And as soon as I typed that, Tony Schiavone made it clear to point out that this is in fact Scott Armstrong.
Good for Scott Armstrong.
So thank you, Tony Schiavone, for that.
So Chavo is in this match. Chavo, not Chavo. That's the bass player for System of a Down. Remember when Chavo tried to start that heat with Rey Mysterio? And then, like, everyone turned against him, and then he was like, I was just working.
I was in a character.
I was in character when I was doing that. It was like, that's not what happened, Chavo. You're just a fucking idiot.
What a lukewarm tag, though.
Yeah, that is what I would call a lukewarm tag, in fact. This show just feels like a Nitro, brother.
Yeah.
This doesn't even feel like a pay-per-view. This is a glorified Nitro.
I would put New Blood Rising up over this.
Yeah, New Blood Rising is better than this show. I'm just going to say that because at least New Blood Rising had some redeeming qualities.
But anyway, trash can that match.
Yeah, during that match, though, Tony Schiavone calls Backstage Assault a revolutionary video game. So, cool, Schiavone. MIA go over after a miscue because we are building that Perfect Event are just not on the same page anymore. They're falling apart, that whole thing.
Yes.
Conan's hurt, and Kidman and Ray won't go out with him because they already wrestled a match. Because basically it's Tori and Franchise versus Conan and Tigress is coming up next. And this just goes to show you how loyal Kidman and Ray are. We could step up for you, Conan, but now you know we've already wrestled, so...
Who would have thought this match would have started out with Franchise coming to the ring, screaming, "Cut my fucking music," and starting off with a Mexican racist joke?
Well, before that even, Conan gets up and he's like, "I'll just do this myself," and then Kidman goes, "He wants that ass," which is the best Kidman line ever.
Hey, props to Tori for being a hot Wonder Woman with THO.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, Tori Wilson's dressed as Wonder Woman during this because it's Halloween. Here's a Jason V note to drop in here. 5 seconds into Franchise's entrance, and now I want to see Tori Wilson versus Gal Gadot in one of those mud pit matches. So that just goes to show you where Jason V's head is at during this match.
That's fine.
So Tigress comes out.
Calls Tori a hoochie.
Yeah. So then they just make it Franchise and Tigress versus... Franchise and Tori versus Tigress. But before this, Franchise is cutting a promo talking about how it was a setup that Perfect Event beat up Conan, yada yada. And commentary is shocked by this news. They're like, so it was a setup attack on Conan. And it's like, I don't know why I turned into John Mulaney there. Where's the money? Did they forget about the promo where on camera, Shane Douglas specifically thanks Perfect Event for taking out Conan?
They didn't see it because it was earlier today.
Oh, that's fair. That makes sense. Thank you for, you know what? Now the show's already better. It makes sense to me now.
Dude, this match starts off with the worst arm drag I've ever seen done in a professional wrestling ring.
It sure does. But you know, Shane Douglas just flat out punches Tigress in the face, and I thought that was really something special.
Dude, Conan's back. Oh my God, it hurts. I could barely walk. Let me come to the ring from the crowd, for one.
Yes. While he had enough time to change his outfit.
Yes.
Because here's the thing you got to take into consideration here. This promo with Conan hurt backstage is right before the Franchise's entrance. So during Franchise's promo and during the first, 5-7 minutes of this match, Conan is just backstage hobbling around getting dressed. Like, what is he doing?
He had to get ready for that crowd pop, brother.
Exactly.
Thinks he's Edge coming out there.
Yes.
He hops in the ring.
Which, by the way, here are thoughts about Edge on Paid Show on Patreon.
Hops in the damn ring, selling his back like he can't walk, can't move or anything. Hits Franchise one time, hits the damn ropes, does a fucking Rolling Thunder Hurricanrana clothesline.
Yeah, but he's so hurt.
And then the rest of the match, his back's perfectly fine.
Oh, yeah. Jason V points this out in her notes. Shane Douglas has Tigress in a crossface chicken wing. That move won Bob Backlund the WWF title on different occasions, one against Bret Hart. Tigress was able to fight out of it. By this logic, she is tougher than Bret Hart and anyone pre-WrestleMania.
I believe it.
I believe it. Tigress bites Franchise, and Franchise just blatantly fucking taps out. But they don't really do anything.
Yeah.
Because she's biting him.
And
she's biting him and he's tapping out. You know what? I called my shot a little bit too early in my notes. -7 of the night.
Brother, I completely agree. This was the -7 of the night. This match was so bad. You want to hear my bulletins?
Please, let's go.
Thank God he punched her. Why does every female use the X Factor as a finish in WCW?
Agreed.
This is going on way too long. What the fuck? Jesus Christ. I'm so pissed at Dickie.
Yeah. Also, that's fair. I'm pissed at Dickie as well. At one point, Stevie Ray calls a Steiner recliner a Boston Crab, and that just popped me really big.
Then they corrected it.
Yeah.
That's no Boston Crab. That's a modified Steiner recliner.
I apologize, people. I don't really have many notes for this match. I was too busy talking to Bando while I was watching this match. So you can blame Bando for me not really having...
Damn it, Bando. You got to let my guys keep their head in the game.
Up next, we have a DNA match. Buff Bagwell versus David Flair. But before we get into that, let's hear a word from our sponsors. This episode of the Spot Show podcast is powered by Slayer Toys, located at 3197 South 3rd Place in Terre Haute, Indiana. Guys, let me tell you one thing about Slayer Toys, right? You're going to walk in, you're going to see a bunch of stuff that you want to buy, and you're going to be thinking to yourself, man, do I really want to buy this? Do I really need this stuff? Well, yeah, you do. You're going to walk in there, you're going to see a plethora, an endless amount of vintage toys, of retro toys, of modern toys, of that toy that maybe you had as a kid and you vaguely remember it. You're going to see it there, very fairly priced. Listen, I go in there and I love it. I get most of my collectibles there. Same goes for Madrox. We love these guys. Go in there, tell them the Spot Show podcast sent you, just so that I can prove to Scott that people are actually listening to us and that we are actually worth tying our name to them. I'm joking, of course. Listen, Scott and Andrew are two great guys. They run a really, really good store located in Terre Haute. Again, if you go to 3197 South 3rd Place, that is behind the mall in Terre Haute, Indiana. Go in there to Sewer Layer Toys. You are going to find some really, really good stuff. This episode of the Spot Show podcast is also brought to you by Elite Pro Wrestling. Here's the thing about Elite Pro Wrestling, right? You have them to thank for the Spot Show podcast in many different ways. Elite Pro Wrestling gave MadBash Studios our first opportunity when we decided to come back into the wrestling business. So Elite Pro Wrestling is one of the OG backers. We love Elite Pro Wrestling so much. They are putting on incredible shows every single month. You should absolutely be there, whether it be in Odin, Indiana, Washington, Indiana. We would love to see you in the crowd there at Elite Pro Wrestling for every single thing that you need to know about EPW. Head on over to EliteProfessionalWrestling.com. There you are going to find dates, events, links, everything that you need to know about EPW. Thank you so much for being a day one sponsor, EPW. We very much appreciate it. This episode is brought to you by Yoo-Hoo, a product of Keurig Dr. Pepper. So here's what I want you to picture right now, right? You're on a long road trip. You're driving along and you're thinking, man, I could really go for a nice, sweet, refreshing drink. You pull into a gas station and the first thing you see is Yoo-Hoo. And I got to tell you, grabbing that Yoo-Hoo, that's going to be the right decision every single time. Yoo-Hoo is available in a variety of flavors, vanilla, strawberry, but here at MadBash, our personal favorite is chocolate. I'm going to tell you about Yoo-Hoo a little bit more, right? We absolutely love this stuff here at MadBash. We cannot get enough of it. And you know what? We're going to sweeten the pot a little bit here thanks to Yoo-Hoo. if you see us at a wrestling show and you buy a MadBash wrestling sticker, you are entitled to 1 free bottle of Yoo-Hoo on MadBash Studios. Limit 1 per customer while supplies last. Now, come on, guys. You can't beat that deal with a stick. Again, MadBash would like to thank Yoo-Hoo so much for sponsoring this episode. Yeah, DNA match.
Brother, DNA match. Just give the people at home time to let that sink in their head.
Yeah, let that sink a little bit. You know what I mean? This is just there. Maybe, in my point, maybe, because I'm thinking about this, maybe WWF just owns the rights to First Blood match.
Maybe. That is a very good possibility. But they say First Blood match on commentary.
They do.
You know what my biggest takeaway from this is?
Yeah.
Okay, we watched New Blood Rising. And we knew that when Stacy announced she was pregnant and the weeks prior going up what the storyline were, where the hell does Buff Bagwell fit in all this? Because I know damn well that he was out there looking for his mother from Chris Canyon.
Exactly.
He ain't got no time to impregnate nobody when he's looking for Judy Bagwell.
No, he doesn't. I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like that we've missed a lot of context here, but like I also really don't feel like that even with the context, we would really fully understand what's going on with this show.
Brother, when you're having a DNA match and you look at the referee's face and he's regretting his decision for showing up for work that day, you know you got a masterpiece on your hands.
You know, there's an alternate reality where David Flair is the leader of Legacy. If you really think about it.
David Flair, Sean Stasiak, Randy Orton. That's what Legacy should have been.
Yes! And Randy Orton's not even the leader. He's just a member of Legacy.
It's David Flair.
David Flair is the leader of Legacy.
The new evolution, if you will.
Yes! I don't know what alternate reality I like better. Mark Jindrak in Evolution or Legacy being led by multi-time WWE champion Ric Flair, his lackeys Randy Orton and Sean Stasiak. Oh, man.
You gotta give it to David Flair, though. He went out there in this match, was like, I don't give a shit what the hell's going on. I'm taking all my dad's famous spots and butchering them.
And he does, dude. He did the Flair flop. He did the top rope bump. And he's just coming off as like a fucking cheap version of his dad. Like, that's, I know what they're doing because they're trying to be like, look, this is Ric Flair's son. So look, he's doing all the Ric Flair stuff.
You gotta love him.
But the problem is, he's doing it very, very badly. I believe that Jason V had a note very similar to that. David Flair did the turnbuckle flip. It actually wasn't that bad. Got to be tough to do that in a t-shirt and jeans. At one point, someone in the commentary goes, he's doing all of Rick's spots. You don't need to test his DNA.
Here's where the jokes kick in. Buff Bagwell, very well more experienced than Chuck Palumbo.
Yeah.
You're going to catch a trend for the rest of the night.
Yes, they are just burying Chuck Palumbo. Remember when Chuck Palumbo did that weird biker gimmick?
You mean The Undertaker?
Yeah. And he like...
The Chucker Taker.
Yeah, Chucker Taker.
He's basically Dalton Davis today.
Yeah, pretty much. Buff Bagwell hits a chair shot. David Flair's bleeding.
The chair shot.
Yes.
First blood match. Chair shot to the head.
Yeah.
David bumps outside, hides his head underneath the ring apron
so that he can gig. And Buff does the same thing later.
Here's the thing, though. The ref sitting there watching Flair gig, sees the blood, gets back in the ring to check on Buff because Buff ain't going over until he gets his shit in. He had to hit that blockbuster before the ref saw the blood,
You're
damn it.
goddamn right. I can just picture Buff just politicking backstage. Like, not unless I get it, hit the blockbuster, brother. I'm not doing it.
This is my town.
Lex Luger does a run-in, turns on Buff Bagwell. Cool. Didn't know they were teaming.
They were just best friends.
Yeah, and then Buff Bagwell gigs. He has blood now. David Flair gets the blood sample and takes it to, as Stevie Ray calls them, the lab guys. But here's where this is a problem because that is very clearly contaminated with the blood of David Flair.
As he's dripping all over the sample.
There is no way that they are going to get a clear reading on that one, bruv. Goldberg arrives. And then now we cut to a Steiner promo. It was your typical Steiner promo. Doesn't really say much, majorly important. It's just your typical Scott Steiner promo.
Then we switch to something that's out of the ordinary. We got a kickboxing match on WCW pay-per-view.
This is kickboxing. This is WCW. As if they're the same. Because that's literally what Tony Schiavone says during this match. Because at one point, Cat with a Bat hits a leg sweep and Mark Madden is pissed. And then Tony Schiavone's like, this is kickboxing. This is WCW. So we have Cat with a Bat versus above average Mike Sanders. If Mike Sanders wins, he
is commissioner.
He is commissioner, basically.
Did you catch their promos before the match started?
I did, but did you also catch who the referee is during this match?
That's young Sheamus.
Cal Reftis, baby. Here's what I respect about Cal Reftis, right? He works every match like he's got a contract waiting for him backstage. Just sitting right there.
It doesn't matter where it's from.
Doesn't matter.
Setting there.
It is setting right there. So that when he signs that contract, he just, because the focus should be on the wrestlers. So anyway, Cal Reftis is back out here. He's been trusted with refereeing this kickboxing match.
But anyway, dude, before you go on with the match, the promos.
Yes.
Fucking, was Anderson?
Mike Sanders.
Mike Sanders.
Above average Mike Sanders.
Sanders, line of the night. I'm going to be dead in your ass.
I missed that.
To which the Cat comes out and says, they don't want to hear you talk. I don't want to hear me talk. So I'm just going to beat your ass, bitch.
I love Cat. At one point during the match, Cat with a Bat goes, I'm the greatest of all time. This chump don't stand a chance. Which is funny because Cat with a Bat is like a legitimate kickboxer. So like he's a legitimate like mixed martial artist and kind of a badass. I mean, I don't know what there's just, it's, at one point, Cat with a Bat hits a really dope cartwheel kick.
Yes.
And he's just like, this is essentially an exhibition, and he is just beating the fuck out of Mike Sanders. By the way, Perfect Event come to the ring with Mike Sanders, and they are just not getting along very well. They just keep doing the we're falling apart sort of gimmick. One point, Franchise, not Chris Halls, makes a run-in on the outside. And you can hear Cat yell as loud as possible, get the chain, man. So guess what Franchise does?
Hits Cat in the head with a chain.
He hits Cat with a chain. And then a kickboxing match ends with a countout.
Dude.
Because Cat goes on the outside and starts beating the fuck out of Franchise.
Yes. How come the ring card girl got a bigger pop than everyone involved in this match?
They are pissed that she's in there too. They're like trying to figure out what she's even doing in there. They're like, who is she? What is she doing out here?
Who paid her?
Yeah, why is she in the ring?
Still better than the mixed tag match though.
Yes. A Jason V note here. Cat came to the ring with some girl. Is that the hooker that the Filthy Animals gave him a couple of months ago?
Yes, it is.
Okay. It's Miss Veronica or something, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was something like that. All right, doctors are trying to stop Goldberg from wrestling. They don't want him to go out there and wrestle. The Nevada Athletic Commission don't want to approve Goldberg to wrestle. So we got that loose thread that's going to be building up throughout this entire
Which Mark Madden proves a valid point. They didn't stop a boxer from continuing a boxing match for getting his ear bit off by Mike Tyson.
And he brings up, again, I will give credit where it is due. Mark Madden is not a great commentator. But when he makes a point, brother, he makes a point. So now we have a match that on paper, we should be fucking stoked for. We have Mike Awesome versus Vampiro, who comes to the ring to ICP's Take It.
Without Muda.
Without Muda.
That broke my heart a little bit.
No Muda.
No Muda and a lamp.
Mike Awesome is also in his 70s guy gimmick.
Dickie Wabash, though. Who in WCW's right mind would hand Vampiro a sword and be like, here, take this to the ring?
Yeah, Vampiro comes out wearing a girdle with a sword. Mike Awesome, with his feathered 70s hair,
He had the hair of a Stevens.
he looks like if Roddy Piper was juiced up with that haircut. Like old Roddy Piper with the long hair.
Yeah, kind of. I still think it's more Stevens.
Like 90s
Yeah.
Roddy Piper, you know what I mean?
Dude, this
So-
match took off to a crazy start.
And then it just goes off the rails from there. Pretty early on in the match, Mike Awesome hits a suicide dive, and somewhere Joey Styles is pissed, one can assume. They start to brawl into the crowd.
Where Vampiro takes Mike Awesome and throws him into like an 80-year-old woman sitting in a chair.
The security guard.
The usher. That was not a security guard.
Sorry, not the security guard, the usher. Yeah. Full-blown just dead-ass throws her. Throws
Dude,
him right
you
into
could see
her.
the look of fear on her eyes as she flew out of that chair. Like,
Well,
she
no
had
shit.
no
she just
idea.
she got fucking Mike Awesome thrown at her. Can you blame her?
She's like, not again. Where's my life alert?
So they're fighting in the crowd, and a fan attacks Mike Awesome.
For no reason.
And then he and Vamp just start beating the shit out of him. And then you can tell Mike Awesome is like, fuck this, I'm done playing in the crowds. And then he just goes back to the ring. Sign of the night during this match, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
A sign that says, goodbye Eric B / Vince R, hello JR / Shane O'Mac. So I'm assuming this fan would like for Jim Ross and Shane McMahon to buy WCW. And honestly,
I'd be for it.
I'd be for that. Mike Awesome once again forgets that he's not in ECW and goes for a table and then just throws it at Vampiro like Frank Wyatt throwing a table at Gavin Alexander as Bull Bronson watches in the background.
Yes.
That is a real thing that happened. You
Dude,
can find that on YouTube.
This match was already starting off bad, but it got to the point after Mike Awesome botched that fucking powerbomb Vamp was trying to give him from the top rope.
Yes, and like Madden like openly calls it out that these two just have no chemistry.
Yes.
It's just like it was just a bad night for these two, you know.
Vamp got so pissed when Awesome botched that powerbomb.
And then as the match is going on, Vamp is just getting progressively more and more pissed off. Like you can just tell. You can just tell he does not want to be here.
I want to know what Vamp was looking for under the ring.
That was my next point. Was
because he searched every damn side of this ring, looks at the camera and goes, fuck it.
Yeah, and then just gets back in the ring. They then go back outside. And then Awesome just gives him an awesome bomb on the outside for no reason.
And you could tell the look of disgust on Vamp's face as soon as he bumps off of it.
Yeah. Yeah, because do you remember, I think it was either the Nitro or New Blood, where they tried to do that gorilla press to Vamp on the outside, and he was just like, fuck it, landed on his feet.
Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of same type of vibe. Awesome bomb off the top rope for no reason.
Then he goes for a pin. This match is not a false count anywhere
Yeah.
match, but the ref still counts it. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then they get back in the ring, and he just does an avalanche awesome bomb off the top rope. Which, by the way, we forgot to mention this match was for a number one contendership for the Nitro after.
Yes, for the world title.
Yes.
Vamp should have won it.
Part of me was like, man, I really thought he was going to. It's just a bad night for both of them, but it was still entertaining in a weird way.
I gave it a 3 stars just for the fans' involvement and the usher.
Yeah, fair enough. Now cut to a General Rection promo. And he just keeps giving all of these reasons for why he's back. And that's all that he can just say during this promo. I'm back for this reason. 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 Just
My only takeaway from this is please never do an MIA promo on live pay-per-view again.
no.
It was bad.
Yeah, it was. So back from the promo, they keep showing the awesome bomb spot, and they show it at least a dozen times.
As calling it the best spot you'll ever see in professional wrestling history.
From multiple different angles in slow-mo, they just keep showing. And like Vampiro's like selling his neck, like maybe he fucked his neck up or something.
As he goes, fuck you.
Yeah. Vamp just during 2000 he gave 0 fucks.
Vamp during 2020 still gives 0 fucks.
He never gave. I direct you to the Botchamania scene where he just no sells the face wash. Now we go on to Lance Storm and Hacksaw Jim Duggan versus General Rection for the Canadian title. Boy, do I not remember this version of Team Canada.
Dude, this was my favorite version. You don't remember Hill Hacksaw?
No.
Clean shaven? Oh, man.
But
he was like no other.
I will say, though, Hacksaw Jim Duggan is dressed like a grizzled vet at an indie show during this match. Just a cut-off shirt and track pants, and his bumps are all on his elbows. He just keeps bumping on his elbow. Do what?
With his New Balances.
With his New Balances on. He just couldn't care. He looks like he showed up for the meet and greet 20 minutes late and then didn't have time to put his gear on, so he just went out for the main event, brother.
You need to go back and watch it, though, because this is the best form of Hacksaw Jim Duggan ever.
Is it, though?
It really is. Like, his bumping and selling during this era is, like, so completely, like, exaggerated and blown up. It's great.
But like I said, he's doing that grizzled vet bump where he's, like, falling to the side on his elbow the entire time. So apparently Major Guns has been converted to a Canadian.
No, they stole her.
She's been converted to a Canadian. Hang on. Dalton Davis, you're live on the Spot Show podcast.
Oh, dude, this is my second time watching it, and I feel honored.
Yeah, we're recording our review of WCW Halloween Havoc 2000.
96 was better.
Dude, any Halloween Havoc is better than this one.
Yeah, but the other one was extra special because you got Ray versus Eddie, and they went like all Bowling Night 4 before Bowling Night 4 was Bowling Night 4.
That was 97.
Yeah, that was 97, bruv.
Okay,
96 is Monster Trucks.
So much.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, 96 was the Monster Truck gimmick.
Oh yeah, which was honestly pretty cool, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
Never mind. I wanted to call to fill you on some things. So
Okay, I'll give you a call when we're done recording. All right, love you, brother.
Love you too. Peace out.
He's got to quit doing that.
This is the second time that he has called during the podcast. So anyway, she has converted to a Canadian, and General Erection's trying to win her back.
General Erection in his Kmart exclusive USA shirt.
Yes, he does. He is dressed like a dad getting ready to play a game of pickup at a fucking cookout, isn't he?
He's playing horseshoes with a beer in one hand and a grill spatula in the other, brother.
He's getting ready to hoop. He's getting ready to hop off the grill and hoop and play a game of pickup basketball, I'm telling you. And then he's gonna do the jump shot and then complain about his bad knee. You know, I blew my knee out when I was in high school, kids. I can get out there and hoop with you for a little bit, but I don't know.
This has the most amazing fan of the night in this whole match.
Go on.
There's like a 300, 400-pound man walking from the top of the stairs all the way down to ringside while carrying 3 big buckets of popcorn, 3 soft drinks, and cotton candy. Doesn't miss a stair, doesn't stumble, and doesn't fall. This dude is multi-talented.
I didn't know Travis Weir went to Halloween Havoc 2000. Buddy. So the problem with this is that you can tell Lance Storm is just trying his damnedest to make this match good. And it's just, I mean, look at who he's in there with.
Yeah.
Look at who he's in there with. Obligatory ref bump takes place. Elix Skipper does a run-in, gets stopped by Major Guns. In the ring, General Erection hits a White Russian leg sweep with Hacksaw's 2x4.
The most horrible Russian leg sweep you'd ever watch.
It's a White Russian leg sweep, brother. It's a Sandman version because he's using the thing across the throat.
There's no kendo stick. Doesn't count.
Then he hits the Fat Man moonsault and essentially misses it.
He headbutted his gut.
A gut headbutt. That's pretty much what the Fat Man moonsault is. Goes over. Major Guns is now back with MIA. Another point.
Jim Duggan's sketchy pile driver to build him up.
Fucking right he did. Oh my God. How could I forget about that one? At one point during the match too, Mark Madden starts chanting Canada, Canada. And then Schiavone just starts chanting Major Guns, Major Guns.
But they also point out that Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Lance Storm, and Bill DeMott all have a combined experience lesson over Chuck Palumbo.
This is fair. We now have a preview for Mayhem, their next pay-per-view. Got a Jeff Jarrett promo. Says that he is going to, embarrass Sting, Standard Jeff Jarrett heel heat promo. Chosen one. I love it.
Brother.
I love it.
Brother, at this point I realized there's 3 matches left, and I made a special bulletin with emojis.
Yeah, go ahead.
Fuck you, Dickie.
I'm sorry. I do sincerely apologize.
But anyway, back on track. We got this TNA match coming up.
Yeah, we got the main event of TNA Bound for Glory 05. No, sorry, 06.
Dude, even the same referee.
It is the exact same referee. The video package before this, though, just kind of abruptly ends.
Out of nowhere.
And then, like, it ends with them, like, doing the, oh, here comes Sting to the ring. And then it cuts to chosen one. And then here comes Jeff to the ring. It's whatever. It makes none sense to me in the slightest.
Hey, dude, but in-ring pyro, like, hits like no other.
And then
they
right
need to bring
after,
that back.
they do. Right after the in-ring pyro, Jeff Jarrett goes, I'm the fucking chosen one. And it was incredible. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a very hot take here. Incredible. Actually, I got 2 in a row. And you can choose which one that we expand upon. Or we can just expand on both of them. It's completely up to you.
Okay.
People talk about how Sting was like a loyal soldier, how it's like good for him for sticking around with WCW.
Yeah.
Nah, brother should have left.
Brother should have left.
My second hot take is Jeff Jarrett in 2000 was the king of give me 15 minutes to go out there and do nothing.
Every match.
Every match.
Every match.
He did nothing.
He did something.
He did rest holds.
No, there's one thing he did.
What did he do?
He made $10. 10,000 people in that building, right?
Yeah.
There is one person who purchased a foam Jeff Jarrett guitar in that entire crowd.
You really think he got all that $10, brother? He got like
Hogan
he
got
like,
most of it.
He got like Hogan ended up getting most of it because of the lawsuit, probably. I don't know, dude. I'm telling you, you went out there, Jack, and you went into business for yourself, brother. So here's what I want: every Jeff Jarrett foam guitar sold, dude, I want 95% of it, brother.
I mean, they're red. That's my stick.
I mean, you're out there with red and yellow, dude. I'm the only one that runs wild with that. And then this motherfucker had the idea to fucking lay down on me, and I don't like that, Jack. I will say, though, Jeff Jarrett is good at storytelling with this one. He's wearing black and white Sting colors, trying to mock him.
Like negative, though.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was intentional.
Probably not.
It was good. It was
I don't
good
think
regardless.
Jeff Jarrett's got that kind of psychology.
So we have 89 Sting makes a run in.
Which happens, little known fact, to be the third brother of AWOL and Ken Anderson.
Yep. He also has the tattoo. They then start brawling in the crowd, and then 90s Sting runs in.
I call this one Bocce Saggy Anderson brother Sting.
I agree.
This dude just looked awkward as hell, like his skin was droopy, like a melted version of Sting. I'm like, what is this?
Then we have a run in from Wolfpack Sting.
That is Psychosis.
Who looks just like Psychosis.
I actually dug it, though, all the different Stings coming out.
It feels like in 2K whenever multiple attires are different wrestlers and you can put them all in one match.
Yes.
Like whenever like the last 2K had like 20 versions of Rey Mysterio.
Yes.
And you could put them all in one match. I agree. That's exactly what it's like.
You notice that at this point, though, even the little kids sitting front row the whole show are completely checked out by this paper.
Because this match is boring.
They are begging their parents to leave during this match.
Yeah. So then Sting beats Wolfpack Sting with a bat. And what's so weird about these run-ins is that they never even make it to the ring. Sting, first of all, one of them is in the crowd, yes. Which after a fan jumping on Mike Awesome, you would think they would be like, hey, stay out of the crowd. Boy, they do not. But Sting meets all of them on the ramp and just fights them on the ramp.
And then drops them with a Scorpion Death Drop.
On the ramp.
That's how you vanquish Sting. Scorpion Death Drop him on the ramp. He gave away his weakness.
So Sting beats up Wolfpack Sting with the bat on the ramp. They get back in the ring, work a little bit. And then I actually said out loud to myself as I'm by myself, mind you. Oh, good. A sleeper hold. Because that's exactly what I wanted during this match was a rest spot. They do the 1, 2, the third arm. He's shaking, blah, blah, blah. Then Sting goes for the Scorpion, but Sting comes out of the mat and pulls Sting under the ring, and then Sting crawls back up. He's fine, and then the other Sting is just gone, and then here comes Sting down from the rafters, and then Sting gives him a Scorpion Death Drop.
He scalps him first.
He scalps him. He's wearing a wig, and then he gives him a Scorpion Death Drop through a fucking announce table. So what is going on? I'm gonna level with you. I don't even know what the finish was. I literally don't even know what the finish was. I was looking away.
Bloody Billy Kidman Sting re-enters the ring. And Sting gets hit by a guitar, or hits Sting with a guitar. Sting no-sells it, dumps Billy Kidman out of the ring. Sting turns around instead and gets hit by a guitar by Jeff Jarrett with the proper force of Thor's hammer.
Yes.
And Jeff Jarrett gets the 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Dude, it took 2 guitars, 5 Stings, and 1 slap nuts. And this match is finally over.
Yeah. They just... loyal soldier Sting, he stuck around, but what did they do with him? Like, he should have left. And that WWF would have gladly had him.
Oh, yeah, especially at this point, dude.
Oh, this was Sting at his prime.
Yes.
Like, Sting in TNA was good, but it still just wasn't Sting.
This was right before he turned to heel Sting.
Yes. I'm just going to tell you right now, I am not looking forward to Scott Steiner versus Booker at this point. I do not want to watch this match. It is no disrespect to Booker T. He's a good worker. No disrespect to Scott Steiner. He's a good worker. But
you feel drained after this.
I'm drained. Booker says that he is going to bump this match up to now so that Goldberg has more time to prepare for his match against Chronic.
And I still don't know who the hell this chick is.
The backstage interviewer, yes. I completely forgot that Booker was trying to get Booyah over as his catchphrase.
You forgot Booyah, sucker?
I forgot about Booyah. We got Michael the Goat Buffer is in the ring.
He almost slipped up and said, ready for your main event.
Yes. Because I feel like that they decided last minute. No, bro, the money is Goldberg and the main event in under 4 minutes. That's the main event, bro.
We gotta make him look strong. Streak, bro.
Yeah, the ghost of Kevin Owens' future. Scott Steiner beats up Ricky Santana when he's on his way to the ring because he's like, no, I'm not going out there right now. I'm not going out. And then Medeja is just like, Scotty, stop it. And he's just beating up Ricky Santana. It's fucking
for
hilarious.
no reason.
None reason. So then we get into the ring and the match starts, and Jesus Christ.
No. We don't get in the ring. Scott Steiner spends 5 minutes on the outside just walking the ring trying to punk out fans first.
Okay, yeah, that does happen. This is true. And then at one point he actually gets in the crowd and like chases after a fan. They get in the ring and my God, Scott Steiner fucks Booker up with a back elbow and it looked stiffer than fuck.
What do you blame him, dude? He's in a multi-million-dollar company, and he's out there wrestling on a duct tape pile from fucking Sting.
Yeah. So, yeah, when Sting came up from the ring in the previous match, all they did was just duct taped over where it was broken. Or where it was ripped, rather. Who was the I think it was one of the old UWC mats was duct taped up. Jason V will confirm with that with me or something. Then they just go into the crowd and they're just fighting in the crowd. And it's like, there's a lot of fighting in the crowd on this show.
You already had one major safety hazard happen tonight. One lawsuit against you.
Yeah.
Let's do it again,
yeah,
bro.
let's go back out and let's go back into the crowd. I will say, though, after that back elbow, you can tell Steiner lightens up a little bit. So maybe Booker hit him with a receipt. I didn't see what it was, if he did. But maybe he did, because Scott Steiner definitely lightens up because, Jesus Christ, coming up now, we have the most ginger running slam I've ever seen through an announce table. Like Steiner, so this is 2 announce table spots in a row. Steiner just picks Booker up, lackadaisically trots over to the table, and then lays him down on it. And, running power slam through the table. They're losing their fucking mind.
Better than that power slam? Scott Steiner talking to Stevie Ray.
He does talk to Stevie Ray.
I will bitch slap you too, you son of a bitch. Right to Stevie's face. You know what Stevie does? Fucking no-sells and goes, I'm really sick of people coming out here breaking my tables.
Yeah, that's all Stevie Ray. He's more pissed about the fact, not even the fact that his brother just got put through it, but he's like, we got any more tables? We got any more tables? This is crazy, Tony.
The whole match, Tony Schiavone's trying to feed Stevie lines and shit to be like, that's my brother in there. Like,
yeah.
We got to pull for Booker. And the whole time Stevie's like, nah, my bro's going over, bro. I seen the card backstage.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck, Stevie?
Yeah, he's just more concerned about the table. I will give him this, though. Booker T is very good at sympathy.
Yes.
At getting sympathy. He really is. Just like New Blood Rising, we have a ref waterfall spot, which I think is in Booker T's contract that has to happen during his title matches.
Every match. The title match that's also not the main event, the commentary is screaming, every WCW World Heavyweight title match up until this point's been the main event. Bullshit. The WCW title match has not been in the main event all year that we have watched so far, Dickie.
So far. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Before the waterfall spot, though, Scott Steiner hits the Samoan drop from the second rope.
And then gets up and starts doing push-ups.
Stevie Ray, blatantly on commentary, goes, what island is Scotty from?
I didn't catch that. Match ends in a DQ because Scott Steiner cannot be controlled. Jeff Jarrett comes out to try to calm Scott Steiner down because apparently they're friends. And that is exactly what he needs right now, is he needs a friend.
This had my Dickie call of the night.
Though a Dickie Wabash ass call of the night.
Scott Steiner hangs the fucking ref in the tree of woe. And Tony Schiavone goes, he's hung upside down like a bat on Halloween night.
That is a Dickie Wabash
I was like,
ass call.
That's a Dickie ass call.
Yep, absolutely. So now we get a Chronic hype package. I think that was mostly just to remind people that the show is in fact not over.
I'm going to stop you right fucking there. This is not Chronic that we know and love. This is Chronic Protection Agency, former Chronic.
Pretty much.
We're doing it for the money. Whoever pays us the most will be good or bad.
The KPA. Let's go, brother. So now we just got Goldberg versus Chronic.
You're just going to ignore the fact that the last fucking match, though, was like for no fucking reason. No psychology or whatsoever. Steiner didn't want the title. He just wanted to hurt Booker T.
Yeah.
Made the whole thing about he wanted the belt so bad just to end it in a fucking DQ.
Yeah.
Like, God. WCW.
I don't know. I don't get it. I think the thing about Goldberg is that he is just in a constant state of concussion because he's just headbutting things.
I'm so concussed. Don't know if I can compete tonight. When they play my music, let me headbutt this damn door off the hinges first.
Yes. Is literally a 4-minute match. That's all it is.
Dude.
My only note for this match in all capital letters. This is the main.
I'll take over for this match.
Please do.
First, Mark Madden makes the line of the night for me. Just after the promo package, he goes, "Look at that body cunt."
He doesn't know how to say count. It always comes out as cunt because he did the same thing with 3 count.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Dude, 30 seconds in and they're just brawling and all no-selling each other.
Yeah.
This is the point in the match when I realized there's only been one sign the whole damn night.
Okay.
That's how bad this match is. I'm paying attention to the fans, and I noticed Tony Hawk sitting in the third row on the right-hand side of your screen.
Good for him.
He spears Adam Bomb in the corner.
Yeah.
Adam Bomb is setting up in a setting position.
On against the table.
He pins him. 1, 2, 3. They ring the bell. Goldberg's your winner. Oh, nope, stop. He's got to pin both of them now. Yeah. We need more time, brother. Give us another 30 seconds. So what's he do? Spear jackhammer on a Crush. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, that's it. We're out of time, folks. Black screen. Why?
This is officially the longest episode of Spot Show Podcast that we have ever done. I apologize. I made a very crucial mistake. We will, for the foreseeable future, not be doing 2000s WCW. We need a fucking break, brother.
Brother, I got a Nitro episode for you to watch.
Oh, don't do this to me.
40 minutes in and it's golden.
Okay.
Jason B can attest.
Okay. We'll get into that later, maybe. But, what do you give this show?
The streak continues 14-0.
What do you give this show?
The overall ranking of this show, I gave 1 1/4 of a 16th out of 5. I had to do Steiner math.
1 1/4 of a 16 out of 5. I'm gonna agree with you on that one. This was just a bad show. This wasn't even a fun bad watch.
No,
to peek behind the curtain a little bit, I regretted my decision.
I went professional on this one and made notes of my overall highs and my overall lows.
Let's do it.
My overall highs were the opening tag match. That was the match of the night.
Oh, absolutely. That triple threat tag match was the best match.
My second high of the night was Vamp getting pissed during the match as it progressed.
Always.
And then my final high of the night was noticing how many people are related to Mr. Kennedy Ken Anderson in one WCW pay-per-view.
Yeah. Because the Wall looks like his older brother.
Yeah,
younger.
Yeah, I guess he would be older.
He would be his older brother. So the Wall is Ken Kennedy's older brother who peaked in high school and played football.
Yeah, he was varsity.
Yeah, he was varsity. He had all the makings of a varsity athlete. You're welcome for that one, Clayton.
Dude, in the lows, everything.
Everything
other than what I listed is horrible.
Is bad. Is real bad. So
that was fun. Let's never do that again.
Yeah. Well, guys, we're going to get off here. We are going to go into paid show now. Give you guys a little bit of a peek ski. This is the day that we went live and officially announced the Yoo-Hoo sponsorship, so we got to prepare for that now. Yeah, we're going to, on paid show, we got a good little topic, I feel like. I kind of want to talk about Adam Copeland debuting for AEW, Jade Cargill going to WWE. I just kind of want to talk about that nonsense, you know what I mean? Talk a little bit about the current affairs of wrestling, since we have been stuck 23 years ago in the past. Let's go to the present. Because right now, wrestling, the second biggest company in the country, is arguably the hottest it's been in a long time. So it's a really cool dichotomy to see that the second biggest wrestling company in the country at that time is just in an absolute downward spiral. So it's a really cool dichotomy going on there. So here's the thing, guys. You want to keep up with us, you can go to facebook.com/MadBash Studios. Get all the information that you need about us. You know this. Patreon.com/MadBash Studios. We're getting ready to roll into paid show. So
Snapchat, brother.
We are now on Snapchat. You want to give the username?
MadBash.studios.
MadBash.studios on Snapchat. We're also on TikTok, I believe.
Not Snapchat, TikTok. I screwed that one all up.
Okay, well, we're not on Snapchat, but we're on TikTok. So there you go. We're real professionals here, guys. First, we get Perfect Event mixed up with Jindrak and O'Hare, and then remixed them up again, and then now we're getting TikTok.
Hey, we still got more experience than Chuck Palumbo.
Still more experience than Chuck Palumbo. So, all right. For the one-legged wonder, I've been the Dr. Seuss of the commentary booth, and we'll see y'all on paid show.